Hi guys, this is Debbie with Wrestling in 60 Seconds, and of course we all know
Hot Mess Deborah.
Right, so we thought we would get on here, and it's hard for us to kind of get both of us in the screenshot at the same time, so we're kind of like, hey, this is something new, we're trying to do stuff new, and there is so much going on with WWE, especially with all their content and new stuff that's coming out. And of course, let's not forget to talk about the Rumble.
Definitely.
You know, we've just got so much to cover. So bear with us and let's do some wrestle talk. Or what we like to call spilling the tea at NXT. All right, so I guess let's start with the Rumble. I have talked to so many people, especially when we were last night at NXT, talking to people about Charlotte Flair and, of course, the men's Rumble. Everybody is talking about the Finn Balor thing, the Drew McIntyre thing, the Logan Paul thing, the John Cena thing. There was so much. But what my take is on the Rumble, and then Hot Mess will be glad to tell her view of the Rumble. I thought it was good. I love that the NXT was represented so well with the ladies' matches. I loved that Jordan Lynn Grace showed up. I loved that it was good. Now the men's, I was very disappointed that they had no representation of the men's NXT. I was also, I have to go back to the women's. I was also surprised that Shotzi wasn't included in the Royal Rumble since she's already made her return back. But it's my understanding that there was some reason why she just couldn't be there or couldn't compete or whatever. So I do understand that they had to bring in other people. I love the fact that Nikki Bella came back. I hope that she's back for a while and not just made a one and done appearance. But now let's go back to what we were talking about, the men's. And my last thought was I wasn't happy that they had no men's representation from NXT at the Royal Rumble. I really liked the last few minutes of the Rumble, especially when you had John Cena and you had Seth Rollins, and I can't think of the third person.
It was Seth Rollins, CM Punk.
I thought the three of them, and that would make an excellent WrestleMania match because they have 2 nights of WrestleMania and they have to cover up both cards for 2 nights. But I thought that was the best. And I was so shocked at John Cena. Not that I have any problems with Jey Uso. I love the streak that he's on. And I'm happy for him. But getting back to John Cena, I was very surprised when they announced that he didn't have to qualify for the Elimination Chamber. He was an automatic entry into the Elimination Chamber. So that was a big surprise. Hot Mess, what did you think of the Rumble?
Well, I have to say, I absolutely agree that John Cena was an automatic entry into the Elimination Chamber. Because literally you usually have to qualify for it, and he just
got a free ticket in.
That was just so weird to me. Now it could be because this is going to be like
his last run.
His last run. So they're really wanting him to be part of the Rumble because it's going to be his last run. Last time.
I think it was because that they really wanted him to be in WrestleMania, since, like you said, it's his last year. They want him to be as much into things as possible during this last year. Let's go on to a couple of things. First of all, let's talk about Jordan Lynn Grace. I was shocked to find out that Jordan Lynn Grace is not going to Raw or SmackDown, but she's going to NXT. I really thought that she would be Raw or SmackDown for sure, leaving TNA like she did. And I'm like, holy smoke. I mean, that's, I was like floored. I was like, how could they do that to her, Deborah?
I'm shocked. I mean, come on now. You're going to take Jordan Grace, who is very well known, and put her in NXT and completely forget about Raw, putting her in Raw or SmackDown? That boggles my mind.
Yeah, it does too. Now, let's talk about SmackDown before we get into everything that happened on and off camera at NXT last night. I was going to do a blog about our stats. I have noticed such a drop, and I don't mean just a little drop, I mean a huge drop in viewership in our videos, but I was shocked to find out that since January, SmackDown has dropped in viewership 49%. And even Raw has dropped down even on Netflix, but they are still getting more views than they did on cable TV. I don't understand this at all.
Me either.
You either watch WWE or you don't. And even if you don't want to pay for Raw, you know, there's highlights on YouTube and X and everything else you can post on as far as social media is concerned. So
Exactly.
I'm a little, I just don't understand why this is happening. Let's also talk, since we're still talking about the Rumble, Charlotte Flair. A lot of people are very happy that she took the time to walk the aisle as long as she did and to bask in her glory before she entered the ring. A lot of people are so mad that they gave it to Charlotte Flair because she just got back after almost a year-long injury, and they end up just giving her the title. Wait, I can't say they gave her. She won it. Okay. But I think it would have been so much better if Roxanne Perez would have won it. She was the longest woman in Royal Rumble history to stay in as long as she did. And that would have been a great push for her moving up to SmackDown or Raw or which one that she ends up going to. It would have also boosted NXT, to keep people from thinking it's a developmental brand. It's not. It's a third brand. They don't want to be classified as a developmental brand. Are you ready to hit NXT now, Pooh?
Yes, I am.
All right. There is so much that happened at NXT. Well, first of all, let me just say that they were taping LGF, which stands for Legends and Future Greats, before NXT started. And I was very surprised. We found out that Bigfoot Joseph is going to be one of the commentators for that event. And that's happening, I think, the 15th of February, which is right around the corner on A&E. They had so much content and, of course, Charlotte Flair showing up. And what you guys didn't catch on camera is after she finished talking, Bayley did this. And I think they may have showed this, and then Charlotte did it right back at her. But they cut that from the scene where you couldn't see it on TV. And I thought, well, how bizarre. Why would Bayley do this and then Charlotte do this, you think that's a clue to me. That's a clue for something that's about to happen. Getting on with LFG, if you notice at the end of NXT, they show 4 figures, images of wrestlers, and I kind of think that 2 of those 4 images, one could be James Cutler and the other Jasper Troy. The third one could be the possibility of BJ Sexy Ray. And I don't know if we should be saying this or not, but during the match that they had with LFG, they had Cutler teaming up with Sexy BJ Ray. And versus, I didn't get the other tag team, I'm sorry. But during the match, BJ Sexy Ray doesn't tag Cutler in at all. And he's begging to be cut in. And Sexy Ray is just dominating the whole match. I can't say he's dominating the whole match. I shouldn't have said that. But he is just wanting all the time in the ring. And he never gives Cutler James his chance in the ring against the other tag team. And then you see Cutler turning on BJ Sexy Ray. And I thought, okay, well, this is going back to the recruit area and the kind of misunderstandings that they had on that show. I just thought, wow, okay. And like they've been doing this, they also have, like I said, this is coming up, I believe, February the 15th. Today is the 5th, so we have 10 days before the showing. Vengeance Day. They keep showing that color-coded promo and somebody typing Vengeance Day. Guys, go back to your Hardy Boys history. Specifically, Matt Hardy. When Matt Hardy was 1.0, what did he do? He typed it. And you could hear the keys clicking, and it was Matt Hardy 1.0. I have said, and I've said to you guys, hey, we're getting a Hardy party coming. And I really believe it's true. I think they're going to show up at Vengeance Day, which is next week. And I think that they're going to be like tackling all the tag teams. And of course, how can we forget? Pooh, how can we forget?
You wouldn't happen to be talking about JDC, would you?
Oh,
Fandango! Or should I say formally?
No, that's Fandango. Yes.
Yes, he showed up. A shock to everybody.
It was, because of all the people showing up from NXT. I didn't expect that to be showing up at NXT was JDC. Now, I love the fact that the system wants to come to NXT, but we think the real match that they should have at NXT should be Moose and Oba Femi. Right? I mean, how good a match would that be?
This is the match upon matches.
Right.
I mean, this is going to be like everybody's going to be watching and not even wanting anything.
Right.
Just that match alone.
That match alone. All right? And so, we're sitting there, we're thinking, wow, okay, how many different ways could we do this match? You know, a steel cage, oh my gosh, a ladder match? You know, that would be sick to have Moose and Oba in a ladder match. A bulwark match. I just think, wow, that would be a really great thing too. I'm sorry, I have notes because there was just so much to cover. The other thing was, I was surprised to see Bayley at NXT last night.
I was surprised to see Bayley there as well, because she has been showing up, but not like every time. So I was really surprised to see her last night. So, yeah.
The other thing that we want to just dab a little bit about, and we want your opinions, okay? We want to know how many of you are going to be watching the new show, the new WWE show, Evolve, on Tubi, starting March 5th. Because we are thinking about covering that show like we do with all the other shows. Hopefully get the card matches posted before the show, and that way you have an opportunity. And of course, Tubi is free. The show is free. It's on a streaming service. And I have to say that Deborah and I, we have Sling, but we also watch a lot of Tubi. We used to watch Lucha Underground on Tubi, and now we watch a lot of movies and documentaries on Tubi. So I'm excited about them getting wrestling onto their streaming service. Let's see. Is there anything else that you'd like to talk about, Deborah?
I have to say that I just want to say this one thing. Let's get this Moose match going on with Obafemi, because it's going to be so good. I really think it's going to be good, and I think that there is really going to be a really great match, and both TNA and NXT, I believe, will love it.
And if you haven't heard, I hear whisperings that Natalya wants to face Masha Slamovich for the Knockouts Women's title. And I thought, whoa, wow, that would be an awesome match too. I've never even thought about Natalya versus Masha. I mean, like, they have like two different wrestling styles, and what a match that would be to watch.
That would be a great match to watch.
Yeah.
A really great match to watch.
Well, I want to thank you for watching, subscribing, supporting us, and, like the comments down below. I want to know if you're going to be watching Evolved. I want to know what your ideas are about the Vengeance Day sign. I want to know who you think were the 4 images at the end of NXT. What do you think about the viewer droppage in SmackDown? Because it's on cable, it's on USA. And if you haven't heard, I think I did this, but just to make sure I cover it again, is if you didn't know, From the Vault has done a second show, kind of from the vault, but it contains NXT. And those 2 channels are putting out tons of WWE content. And they're even putting out the NXT old pay-per-views, the takeovers, all of them. And I'm like, wow, who doesn't want to see Bray Wyatt's debut, or Seth Rollins, or we have the takeover? How about we can't forget Undisputed Era, or the Velveteen Dream, or all the ones.
Dominic Dijakovic.
Yes. All right. Keith Lee. The Keith Lee and Dijak matches were legendary. Some the takeover that they did, I don't remember what year that was, is when Dijak picked up Keith Lee and his knee gave out on him, and he had him up in the air. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know if Dijak was going to finish that match.
It was an amazing match.
It was. And he was able to finish it.
To be able to even finish it. The 2 of them were amazing in that match. I mean, I'm sorry, just to see Dijak, or Dominic Dijakovic, pick up Keith Lee and be able to at least pick him up. What?
Yeah, that was amazing. As always, we want to thank you for supporting us. And until next time, bye for now.